ELL students switch back and forth between languages because they're trying to express more intense emotions. So a lot of time they're going to be more comfortable using their native language. And as they're speaking, they might not even realize it, but as they're feeling excited to tell about something, they might not know the words in English. So that's why they're going to go back and forth, back and forth. This is actually called code switching. So they might also be trying to think a little bit too hard about using English and going with the listener's preference. So that could be another reason why they're going back and forth. They're trying to access the vocabulary of their native language to, in turn, put it into the English language. Depending on the topic, if it's something that the student's confident in, then they might be more inclined to try to use English. However, on the flip side, if they're feeling a little bit meek or if they're feeling nervous about something, that can also cause them to go back to their native language too. This is called language motivation. So depending on the student, depending on the situation, that's going to determine which language they're going to go to more. So in order to support that, as we're wanting them to use certain language or certain English vocabulary, we can provide sentence stems, which would be starting the sentence, I feel this way because, and then they could fill in the blanks. Or depending on reading a story, maybe it's going to go with the context of the book that they're reading. The teacher could give more or less words to help guide them in what they're going to say. Also, you could chunk the assessments or the assignments. So instead of them having all 4 questions to answer, you can maybe just give them 2. You could highlight keywords that they need to know and preview that vocabulary so that when they see it on the assessment, they know it. And you could also do some peer-to-peer coaching. So you could team them up with a student that's kind of compatible with their level, but a little bit higher to the point that they're going to push them, but not too much so that they get discouraged and, break down. ELL students need a lot of empathy and support from us because they are trying to navigate a new world. So just try to imagine if you go, if you went abroad to a country that speaks a language you have no idea about, it would be super intimidating. You would feel scared, you would feel nervous. So the patience, the guidance, the modeling from us, that's really important for our ELLs. Sometimes we take our language for granted and our communication for granted because we're used to living here and we're used to speaking to each other. But if we just take a step back and try to think of ourselves in their shoes, it might help us to have a more clear picture of what they're going through.